The Toronto Blue Jays aren't letting Vladimir Guerrero Jr. slip away. The franchise and the 26-year-old star reached an agreement on a 14-year, $500 million contract extension on Sunday, according to Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic. With no deferrals included in the reported deal, this extension stands as the second largest in Major League history in terms of present-day value, trailing only Juan Soto's $765 million contract with the New York Mets. Under the terms of the extension, Guerrero will remain a Blue Jays mainstay through the 2039 season, when he will be 40 years old, effectively keeping him in Toronto for the remainder of his MLB career. The Blue Jays, who have had Guerrero in their system since signing him out of the Dominican Republic at just 16 years old, clearly view him as the cornerstone of their rebuilding efforts. Notably, Guerrero was born in Canada, while his father, Hall of Famer Vladimir Guerrero Sr., played for the Montreal Expos, making his connection to Toronto all the more significant. Since making his MLB debut in 2019, the four-time All-Star has consistently produced at a high level. Last season, he batted .323 with 30 home runs and 103 RBI, even though the Blue Jays finished with a 74-88 record and missed the playoffs. This season, Guerrero has maintained a .286 batting average with 4 RBI and 10 hits through 9 games. Negotiations for the extension continued past an initial February deadline, with Guerrero reportedly breaking off talks ahead of spring training before eventually signaling that he wanted a $500 million deal. The Blue Jays ultimately delivered on his demand, ensuring that they can build around their star for years to come. Whether Guerrero will be the catalyst to lead the Blue Jays to their first World Series title since 1993 remains to be seen, but with this massive contract in place, the organization has laid the foundation for a bright future centered around one of baseball's most dynamic talents.
What's going on, baseball fanatics? Welcome back to the channel for an even more in-depth look at the earth-shattering news coming out of Toronto. The Blue Jays have reportedly made a franchise-altering decision, locking up their superstar first baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., to a monumental 14-year, $500 million contract extension. This isn't just a big deal. It's a historic one that sends a clear message to the rest of Major League Baseball. The Blue Jays are serious about contending for a championship for years to come. And Vladdy Jr. is the cornerstone of their plans. Let's break down every single angle of this massive commitment. The video you sent over confirms the reports from the renowned baseball insider Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic, stating that the Toronto Blue Jays have indeed struck a 14-year, $500 million extension with their beloved star, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. What makes this deal even more significant is the fact that it reportedly includes no deferred money. In today's baseball landscape, where massive contracts often come with deferred payments stretching out for decades, this straight-up $500 million commitment underscores the Blue Jays' conviction in Guerrero Jr.'s value and their willingness to invest heavily in their present and future. When we talk about the magnitude of this contract, we're talking about history. This reported $500 million deal now stands as the second largest in Major League Baseball history in terms of its present-day value. To put that into perspective, the only contract that boasts a higher present value is the recent behemoth of a deal signed by Juan Soto with the New York Mets. A staggering $765 million over 10 years. While Shohei Ohtani's headline-grabbing $700 million, 10-year contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers has a larger total figure. The significant amount of deferred money in that agreement places Guerrero Jr.'s extension as the second richest in terms of the money he will actually receive in the coming years. This firmly establishes Vladimir Guerrero Jr. among the financial elite of Major League Baseball. A testament to his exceptional talent and impact on the game. Consider this. At just 26 years old, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is now under contract with the Toronto Blue Jays all the way through the end of the 2039 season. By that time, he will be 40 years old. This extension essentially signifies that, barring any unforeseen circumstances, Guerrero Jr. could very well spend the entirety of his illustrious Major League Baseball career wearing the Blue Jays colors. This kind of long-term commitment between a franchise and a generational talent is something truly special and something that Blue Jays fans have undoubtedly been hoping for. Guerrero Jr.'s connection to the Blue Jays organization is a story in itself. The team recognized his immense potential early on, signing him as an international free agent at just 16 years old out of the Dominican Republic. There's also a unique Canadian connection, as Vladdy Jr. was actually born in Montreal while his legendary father, Hall of Famer Vladimir Guerrero Sr., was playing for the Montreal Expos. This history adds another layer of sentimentality to his relationship with Canadian baseball fans. Since making his highly anticipated MLB debut in 2019, Guerrero Jr. has blossomed into a true star for the Blue Jays, quickly becoming a fan favorite for his infectious energy, powerful bat, and undeniable charisma. Over his young career, Guerrero Jr. has already established himself as one of the premier hitters in the American League. He's a four-time All-Star, showcasing his consistent excellence on the biggest stage. Looking back at last season, 2024, Vladdy Jr. had another outstanding offensive campaign, slashing an impressive .323 batting average, launching 30 home runs, and driving in a remarkable 103 runs. While the Blue Jays unfortunately fell short of the playoffs with a 74-88 record, Guerrero Jr.'s individual brilliance was undeniable and served as a beacon of hope for the team's future. Even early in the 2025 season, through the first 9 games, he's showing no signs of slowing down, hitting .286 with 4 RBIs, indicating that he's ready for another productive year. The video highlights the fact that the Blue Jays and Guerrero Jr.'s representatives were actively engaged in negotiations for this extension throughout the recent offseason. While they initially missed their self-imposed February deadline to finalize a deal, and Guerrero Jr. reportedly put a pause on negotiations leading up to spring training, it's clear that both sides shared a strong desire to get this done. It was also widely reported that Guerrero Jr. had a specific number in mind, a $500 million contract, and it appears that the Blue Jays were ultimately willing to meet that figure to secure their franchise player. With this reported agreement now in place, the Blue Jays have made an emphatic statement about their commitment to winning. While it's always a matter of speculation what might have transpired had Guerrero Jr. reached free agency at the end of this season, with potentially numerous suitors lining up for his services, the Blue Jays clearly weren't willing to take that chance. Instead, they have made a monumental investment in their future, providing a sense of stability and excitement for the fanbase. They now have their cornerstone player locked in for the long haul, giving them the foundation to build a consistently competitive team around his exceptional talent for the next decade and beyond. The paramount question that now hangs in the air is, can Vladimir Guerrero Jr. be the leader who finally guides the Toronto Blue Jays to their first World Series championship since their memorable back-to-back titles in 1992 and 1993? With this massive long-term commitment now secured, the organization's focus will undoubtedly intensify on building a championship-caliber team around him. The Blue Jays have demonstrated their seriousness about competing at the highest level of Major League Baseball, and securing the future of their superstar is an absolutely crucial step in achieving that ultimate goal. The pressure will now be on the front office to surround Guerrero Jr. with the necessary talent to make a deep postseason run. What are your initial and deeper reactions to this groundbreaking contract extension for Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? Are you ecstatic about his long-term future in Toronto? What kind of impact do you believe this will have on the Blue Jays' ability to attract other top free agents in the coming years? And most importantly, do you think Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will be the player to finally bring the Commissioner's Trophy back to the city of Toronto? Share all your thoughts, hopes, and predictions in the comments section below. Don't forget to absolutely smash that like button if you're a Blue Jays fan or just love seeing these kinds of massive deals go down. Subscribe to our channel for even more in-depth MLB news, analysis, and reactions. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the exciting developments happening in the world of baseball. We'll catch you in the next one.